What does the British title mean? For some fighters, it's the realisation of a lifelong dream. For some fighters, it's confirmation that they are the best in the country and that they can go on to fight for world titles. For some fighters, it's about making the city proud, making your people proud, and showing that they've got someone to get behind. On February 28th, at the Valiant Live in Derby, a new British champion will be crowned in the welterweight division. The Worcester Warrior, Owen Cooper, takes on the man they call the Moldovan monster, Konstantin Ursu. I caught up with a handful of champions who have had their hands on that coveted Lord Lonsdale belt and will know what it feels like to be either Owen Cooper or Konstantin Ursu on February 28th. And where better to start than with a man who has held that British title not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. Here's my chat with Denzel Bentley. Well, Denzel Bentley, too sharp, and also 3-time British middleweight champion. I mean, what does that belt mean to you in your career, in your life?
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing achievement. It was, one of the first belts I'd won in my boxing career, amateur or pro. So, it meant quite a lot to me. I won it 3 times, and every time I won it was a satisfying feeling. Do you know what I mean? It's like they say, it's the best belt of boxing. I mean, if you're British, you hold that with a sense of pride. You know what I mean? That you're the best in Britain, and who knows what it leads to. A lot of British champions have gone on and become world champions and done whatever they've done in the sport, and a lot of fighters have retired British champions, and they're proud of that achievement. So it's a hard belt to kind of capture. A lot of fighters kind of swerve it because it's a very difficult route to trade, a difficult route to take. A lot of fighters, go through that route, and it gets them battle hardened for whatever's next European or world titles. But the British title, I mean, one of the best belts out there, and I'm happy to still have that on my mantelpiece now.
Yeah, well, you got it 3 times. There's not many people that can say that they're a 3-time British champion, and like each time you've won it like in different ways. I remember the first one, you won it in lockdown. You won it behind closed doors. Like you couldn't have been
Yeah.
as hyped as like you should have been like for the next one. And then there's the Brad Pauls. Like you've won it all different ways.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've won it all different ways. I mean, it's funny. The second time I won it off Linus, and the third time I won it off Brad Pauls and their teammates. So that was kind of funny. He made a bit of a story in his own as well, but it's true. I mean, in lockdown, I was happy, but I couldn't really get the full excitement. Do you know what I mean? And then when I won it the second time, I was in a 50-50 fight, like a kind of career-defining fight, and it was like I came through it, and it's like yes. And then the third time, pretty much the same. I beat the guy that beat me, and then it's like it's just all different types of feelings in it. So, listen, I was proud of the achievement every single time I won it, and like I said, I'm proud to still have that out right now. So yeah.
Talk me through that moment for the second one, because the first time you won it, it was a stoppage. You stopped Mark Heffron. Everyone knew at the end of the fight you'd won that fight. The second one, it went to the scorecards after your fight with Linus. So as much as you probably thought, yeah, I've got this, there's still going to be that doubt, right? It's still it's up to the MC to announce you as the winner. What were those moments like?
It was crazy because one judge had it for him. So I was like, oh, snap, split decision. So like I remember when they were calling out the last scorecard, I'm looking at the MC to see which way his mouth is moving. I'm trying to see which way his lips are moving. Like, is he going to call an L or a D? You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, what's he saying? And when I saw him like going to pronounce Denzel, I was like, there we go, I got it. So, but I thought I had it. I thought I finished the fight stronger. So I was kind of surprised that it was a split decision. But listen, judges see fights the way they see it. It's why we have 3 judges on each side of the ring instead of just one person calling it. So yeah, that was a proud moment as well.
In terms of the kind of preparation it's given you for, world title belts, essentially, it feels like very good preparation. You mentioned it earlier in terms of there's no real easy way to get your hands on a British title. You need to compete with the best out there. There's no ducking and diving, etc. How well prepared has your British title, your 3 times you've won it, has that made you for knocking on the door now for a world title?
Yeah, well, it prepared me really well. I think I've had 7 British title fights altogether. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, those are all championship fights. So some have ended early, some have gone the distance and whatnot. So it just prepares you for that kind of championship sort of level. So like I've done that in itself for the British side. That's 7 12 rounders. So like moving forward into a world title fight, I'll be ready to, fight a 12 round fight. I feel like I'm a seasoned pro now. I feel like I'm ready to take that next step. If I'm not ready now, then I won't ever be. So I feel like it's prepared me really well. It's battle hardened me. I've been in some tough fights, and give and take, and split decisions, stoppages, unanimous losses, and it's just it's helped me physically and mentally to push on to that next level.
Did you say you got it on your mantelpiece then?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
That's pretty
Do you
cool.
want me to get it out?
Go
Show
on,
off a little
show
bit.
me. Get that belt. Get that belt. Bring it
Oh,
in. Bring it in. That I love that, Denzel. You got one of those cameras which is like low key following you, and now it's like looking for you, isn't it? It's like, where's he gone? Where's he gone? He's started looking the other way now.
oh,
Here he
there
comes.
we are.
Oh my god.
Lovely.
So what does that mean to you, Denzel? That lovely Lord Lonsdale belt?
It means a lot, man, because I know how hard I worked to get this. You know what I mean? I mean, like you said, winning it 3 times is not easy. Some people don't even get to win it once or get to compete for it in general. You know what I'm saying? So some people, their whole careers, they want to win a British title, and they just like I said, being British, it means a lot. And it's like some people that I ain't boxed from a kid, but some people that I boxed from childhood, like from a kid, I've heard them like say things like, "Oh, I just want to win a British title," and they haven't had the opportunity to do that. Whether they fought for it and fell short, or haven't had a chance to fight for it at all, and I've managed to do that 3 times. So, yeah, man, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, I like the belt. It sits. I've got a few belts. I've got 4 now, I think, but this one sits at the top,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
rest, like even the European belts under it, it just sits at the top. The only thing that can replace this is the world title, but as for now, it sits at the top.
I love that. Listen, world title next. You got all your prep done. You're ready to go for it, mate. So thanks so much for giving us 5 minutes and show me that belt again. Come on, look at that. Too sharp. Free time. We out. Cheers, Denzel.
There
Take
we
care,
go.
mate.
That's on my thanks, man. Take
Cheers,
care.
mate. How good does that belt look, by the way? Just draped in gold there. Denzel Bentley proudly keeps his British title on the mantelpiece. I guess it made sense to next speak to the man who actually beat Denzel Bentley to become the British champion and realise a lifelong dream. It was a huge upset on the night that Nathan Heaney finally became British middleweight champion. Well, Nathan Heaney, I know how proud you were to become British middleweight champion. Talk me through that night. What did it mean to you?
Yeah, it was just the for the best night of my sporting career. Like in my whole entire life, obviously, I've been boxing now for 26 years. I've been fighting. So from the age of 11, I've been fighting. So, and I'd always underachieved as an amateur. Didn't really do anything. In fact, as an amateur, did nothing at all. Beat some very good kids, but never won the national title, and only won the Midlands area title once in 16 years. So then to become the British middleweight champion, the third person to ever do it for my city, and according to AI, one of the oldest people to have ever done it in the 21st century. It's not a bad achievement, and it meant everything.
Yeah, I mean, what a lovely additional stat that's come via AI as well. I mean, it was a big night for you. And tell me about the belt itself. A lot of people say that it's the best belt in boxing. Are you? I assume you think that as well.
Yeah, it's stunning. Like the unfortunate thing is you have to defend it 3 times in order to keep it. But I think the belt's worth £14,000. It's like gold plated. It's solid silver underneath. It's just an amazing belt. It is incredible. Like I say, it's steeped in history. So yeah, it is a very, very, very good looking belt.
And can you remember that feeling? Because your one, it went to the scorecards. At the point that the fight ended, you didn't know that you had won. It's not like you'd stopped the opponent kind of thing. You were in there and you were waiting for one man, the MC, to say, and the new. What was that wait like and what did it feel like?
Yeah, I'll be straight. When that final bell ended, I had won that fight. There was no denying I had won that fight. But then when I heard the first score called 114, I was thinking, hold up here, what's going on? But then the other two scorecards, they were too wide. There was no way he was going to win that fight based on them. And then in regards to that moment, I actually can't really remember it, to be honest. It was just mental. Like I'm on the floor. It was just the most incredible night. Like I was saying to one of my mates the other day, it's one of the biggest sporting nights in Stoke-on-Trent's history. Like, and I was like at the centre of that. Like it was utter madness.
I love that, and also that night has led to you being like on a mural in your city, with your British
Yeah.
title kind of thing. It's that accomplishment that led to even more recognition, which led to you being a local hero, really.
Yeah, yeah, I was inducted into the Sporting Hall of Fame, so alongside Gordon Mance, Stanley Matthews, Phil Taylor, and just some like legends from my city. And then obviously I'm like considered a sporting, very successful sporting man. So they put me on there, like you said, the mural as well, which is lovely. So yeah, the British, and that was all on the back of that British title.
Change your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it got me ranked to number 4 in the world with the WBO. Unfortunately, I ended up losing the title. So the British title's a poison chalice because it's very hard to win, but it's very hard to defend as well because you're fighting the best fighters in the country, and those fighters are usually some of the best in the world if they're from Britain. So yeah, it's a very, very tough battle to have.
Well, you've experienced winning it, you've experienced losing it as well. I mean, that must have been heartbreaking to kind of to let it go. And is it on your mind to, I don't know, get it back, or are you kind of beyond that? Are you where are you in terms of your relationship with the belt?
Yeah, I've had it. I wouldn't say I need it back. It's not. There's no redemption mission to try and get it back. Because, like I said, when you're fighting some of these guys, they're some of the best in the world anyway, or on the route to being some of the best in the world. So, if I could get myself into position, being top 15 in the world again, then you got an opportunity for a world title. I'd prefer that, to be fair.
Yeah, top man. Okay, all right, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Nathan. I think you're one of the best kind of British champions, proud British champions that we've had in recent history in terms of just the way you reacted to that moment, the way it looked like a bit of a mountaintop at that particular point in your life. I think it was a
Yeah,
special night that no one in there will ever forget.
absolutely, mate. Incredible.
The hitman Nathan Heaney in fine form there indeed. Looking back at that dreamy night that he became British champion, and he had the opportunity there to take the title from the champion. That's not always possible. Sometimes the champion vacates and they move on. And then a fight gets ordered between the two best available contenders. Usually two young, hungry fighters vying it out for the crown. That's what happened with our next guest. After years on the small halls, Jack Rafferty finally got his chance to become British champion. He took on the unbeaten Henry Turner after Dalton Smith vacated the title, and what followed was an absolute thriller. Well, it's great to speak to a reigning British champion, Jack Rafferty, the Demolition Man. How does it feel to be the British champion, Jack?
Yeah, it was a massive, achievement. I was below working for in boxing. One of the proudest days, not just for me, for my family, and my coach, because a lot of hard work's gone into it, and I got the reward for being a British champion.
And you'd been under the radar, right? You'd been on the small halls, just grinding away behind the scenes, no one paying attention to you. Suddenly, you get ordered to fight for a British title. You're on the big stage, really winning that belt, that big win against Henry Turner. It's changed your life.
Yeah, definitely life changing. I think it was 23 fights unbeaten on small low shows, and got the work for the final eliminators, and got the a British title shot against Henry Turner. No promoter behind me, and not just losing that, it would have been, who's going to want me then? I've gone all these fights, no big promoter, lose against Emily Turner. It wasn't a possibility.
And the fight itself was actually a bit of a thriller. I mean, you sometimes you get to fight the champion, right? But if you don't get to fight the champion, a vacant title against another unbeaten, hungry guy, that was a brilliant fight because you both wanted it so much.
Yeah, Emery's a quality fighter, great operator. He's done a lot in the sport, amateur and pro. So it wasn't just like a bit of a Mickey Mouse show. It's the two proper fighters. Obviously fighting to something to be proud of in boxing. A British title, and yeah, it turned out to be a cracking fight.
It's one of those I guess you had to come from behind. Like to everyone watching, it's like you were losing the fight, right? But
Yeah.
you kind of knew that you were getting to him, right?
Yeah, definitely. I knew that was his game plan. Well, I knew what he was about. I knew he was fast, sharp, and I didn't think he'd been in deep waters what I took him into. And I think that showed late on. He started slowing down, and I started taking over the fight, and that's what happened.
What did you do with the British title once you got hold of it? That sort of first week or so. What did you do with the belt itself?
Well, I went to sleep Friday night, woke up Saturday morning for the fight, and I don't think I went to sleep till Monday morning. I couldn't sleep. It was amazing. I think after I beat Emre Turner, I had to beat my dad to fight for whoever else had the title after that. So yeah, it was a very proud moment, and not for me, my family, and all my friends and loved ones. And yeah, it was what a day.
And in terms of that, you've defended it now as well.
I've had two defences, one against Reece McMillan, one against Chamberlain was a draw, so that don't count as a defence.
Yeah.
To win that outright, there's two more defences left.
And I'm sure you'd like to keep hold of that belt, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's my aim. To get that outright, be a outright British champion, and go from there.
Do you feel like the fights at British level are setting you up for the future? Because inevitably your ambition will be beyond British level. You want to become European, you want to become world champion. But these fights you're having now, the Henry Turners, the Mark Chamberlains, these are setting you up, right?
Yeah, I believe the Mark Chamberlain one was, more than a British title, which it set out to be a thriller. But yeah, like you said, they set me up for big things in the sport. Winning that outright, that's what I wanted to do. Then and push on to European and world honours. So a couple more defences, and we'll be on our way.
Yeah, I think you're right there, by the way, about the Mark Chamberlain fights. So sometimes you can end up having world level fights at British title level, or what perceives to be British title level. Mark's about to fight for the IBO world title. Like these things are happening.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's two proud British lads fighting for a British title, which is big in boxing, one of biggest belts to win, and that's what me and Mark done. We was two proud British lads. Listen, I think Mark had a minor loss in his record, and it set out to be a great fight. And
Yeah.
look at Mark now pushing on for a world title, so it just shows where that fight was at.
100%. Well, listen, Jack, we've enjoyed your British title fights. We can't wait to see you in another British title fight. If that is your next fight,
Yeah,
we just want to see the Demolition Man back, mate.
yeah, definitely. I can't wait.
Well, you can see how much it means to the Demolition Man, Jack Rafferty, still British champion today. Sometimes becoming British champion is more than just what it means to you. Sometimes it's about what it means to the city. And that's what takes me nicely to our next interview. After 13 years as a pro, with a career full of ups and downs and everything in between, Ashley Lane became British bantamweight champion. And notably for him, he made history by becoming the first man ever from Northampton to do so. Here's his story. Former British bantamweight champion Ash Flash Lane. Ash, look at you. Look at your background. Your background is a British title fight. That's you on the right. That's Brad Foster on the left. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, thank you, Dev. I'm all right. I'm getting on with life quite well. It's always good.
So what did the winning the British title mean to you? And do you know what's interesting there? From the photo that you've chosen, that's the fight actually where you didn't win the British title. So you had two bites at it, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I had two fights. The one on here, I didn't mean to pick this one. It just popped up randomly. But yeah, that was a good fight with Brad Foster. One of my hardest fights. He gave me a bit of a pasting, to be honest. But it was a good learning experience. But winning the British title against Chris Brook, that was phenomenal. It's unbelievable. It's one of those nights that you will never forget for the rest of your life. It really makes your whole career worth it, all the ups and downs. Definitely gives you something to think about for your whole life.
Yours was, I think, 13 years in the making, as you say, ups and downs as well. How determined were you to win it that night against Chris Bourke? Because you fought like a man possessed.
I was a man possessed, Death. I had no ounce of doubt within me that night. I knew that everything had aligned for me to win, and I would have walked through Wolves to have got that win that night. And I mean, I have to say, Chris Bork, he boxed very well for the first couple of rounds. He caught me with some beautiful shots, and but I didn't feel him. You know, it was something overtook me for the night. He was just on point, and there was no way I know that I was going to come away without the belt.
And that belt, I mean, it wasn't just for you. I mean, Northampton suddenly had a British champion, and that was history for Northampton that you brought them.
Yeah, that will always be something which will make me very, very proud. The first ever from Northampton. I know we've got Kieran Conway now. We have the Farrell twins coming through. We've had Chantal Cameron. So Northampton's doing amazing, but to be the first to win the British title, that just fills you with pride.
Can you remember that first moment where you actually got to touch the belt and it was yours?
Yeah, I do. It was having it over my shoulder. It kind of takes a breath away for a moment because something you've dreamt about for since being 15 years old up until 33, 34, so 18 years you've dreamt, you've sweated, you've bled, you've cried, and then to finally have it over your shoulder given to you, it's very hard to explain, but very few people will understand, what that means to you, and it definitely it touches something special inside of you.
And have you still got like a replica? I understand you have to defend it 3 times to get the full version, but you've got some sort of version, is that right?
I did buy a replica, yeah. Unfortunately, over the last few months, I've moved house and I've lost a lot of things, so it's hopefully somewhere in my bags.
Yeah.
But I did buy a replica, and I would have liked to have bought one outright, but financially couldn't do it. But you'll never forget anyway for the rest of your life. It's something which will always stick with you no matter what, in your memories, in your photos, and it was definitely a special moment.
Top man, thank you so much for speaking to us about it. And I was watching back the highlights actually earlier. That's why I said you fought like a man possessed. You weren't going to be denied that night, my friend.
No, definitely wasn't. Thank you for the call, Dev. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Look after yourself, Ash. Take care, mate. That one gets you in the feels a little bit, I think. You can feel the emotion coming through from Ashley Lane, what it meant to him, what it meant for him to represent his city, the pride that he has. Well, from Northampton to Southampton, Ryan the Piranha Garner is flying the flag for boxing on the South Coast, and he became British champion last year with a brilliant win over Reece Bellotti. He added the British title to his ever-growing title collection. Every time you look at him, he's got a new belt. Here's my chat with the Piranha. Well, the Piranha is in town. This is a man who knows a thing or two about belts, and in particular, that British belt, which you won in your last fight, Ryan Garner. What a special moment that was.
Yeah, mate, like as you said, it's a special moment. All my career since I turned pro, I just wanted to win belts, and obviously the last fight, I had 4 belts after the fight, but the most prestigious, most probably in my eyes, was the British title. I remember when I was growing up. Now, quite a lot of the time nowadays, a lot of fighters, good fighters, they start off at the level. They kind of like skip the British level and go straight onto the European and world level. So it's kind of, I went past it with the European title, but I was so glad to have the opportunity to be able to come back and win it against Bellotti. And just it's such a prestigious belt. It looks the part. Do you know what I mean? That British title, yes. Every fight, I think when they turn over, they want to become a British champion, and then obviously they go on to bigger things. But yeah, it was a massive achievement, mate, and could have been happier.
Do you know what? That is interesting. From all the British champions that I've spoken to so far, and that I'll speak to for this, I don't think there's many that would have essentially gone past British level, but then come back down to win the title. You were a European champion heading into your fight with Reece Bellotti, but you wanted that belt, didn't you?
Yeah, like I said, I always wanted to win as many belts as I possibly can. And when that opportunity come, obviously reset the British and Commonwealth, I had 2 belts, but so I was like, I just want to get as many belts as possible. Because when people retire, boxers retire, they've got all their belts lined up and all their accomplishments like inside of the ring. Yeah, it's just something I wanted to do and win as many belts as possible I can. And when I retired, do you know what I mean? Have something to look back on my career, and that opportunity come. And then thankfully, like I said, it was the British title was there, and I've always wanted to like do the not kind of the traditional route. I never skip like the area level, but win the British Commonwealth, well, British European, then go on the world. So I've done that. I won the British title, I won the European, and now I want to go on to world honours, and I'm hoping this year, mate. I truly believe it will happen.
Yeah, look, I think it'll happen as well. And I feel like I was speaking to Denzel Bentley as well, and Denzel Bentley speaks about how all the British title fights that he's had, he's a 3-time British champion now. The experience that he's picked up from that, from fighting the best in your country essentially, has really held him in good stead to now challenging for a world title. Are you feeling that as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I was up against obviously Reece Bellotti, very good fighter, very nice guy as well. But a good fighter, like, very experienced. He was on a roll and he beat a lot of good prospects. So it's kind of like you say, it goes to show you what level you're at. Do you know what I mean? Not a banana skin, but fighting for a British title is always going to be tough. So it just goes to show, depending how easy you make it look or hard the fight is, then you kind of get a gauge of how far and what level you can get to in the sport, if you know what I mean. And in my eyes, I thought it was pretty comfortable. And like I said, Reece is a good fighter. He's beat a lot of good fighters, been in them with a good lot of fighters. So I think the display I put on just goes to show like that I can get to the next level, and I believe I'm still to prove show the best of me. I think I'm getting better and better with each fight. So it was a good stepping stone. And obviously this year I want to go on to big fights, big honours, and hopefully become a world champion, mate. And be involved, not just become a world champion, but be involved in big fights.
Yeah.
Make as much money as I can for my family. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, boxing is a short career, So I want to financially. I've got to like when I started winning belts and that, and then obviously now I'm at the stage that I'm at. I'm over the moon. Like if I retired tomorrow, like realistically, I've achieved a lot, but I know that I can achieve more. So I just want to, just move into the next level now, and hopefully achieve what I believe I can achieve and become a world champion, be the first world champion from Southampton, and just as a whole, putting Southampton boxing on the map. And I want to be the spear for that, and then hopefully a lot after when I've been and gone, a lot of fighters behind me will accomplish big things as well.
Yeah, there's so many British champions that have gone on to become world champions as well. I mean,
Mm.
your style, the way you boxed, you were likened to like a young Ricky Hatton as well. And I remember he was,
Yeah,
that fight with John Thaxton he had for the British title, and then he went on to become a world champion. It's there, isn't it? The pathway is kind of laid out, and it's kind of thanks to this belt. There's a blueprint, and it really helps.
yeah, I definitely say all the top British fighters that have gone on to world honours, they've all fought for the British title, and they've all won it. So I'm hoping I can emulate it, mate, and I'm hoping this year. I believe this year, I always say I'm a big believer in destiny, and I believe I'm destined to become a world champion. I'm destined to fight at St Mary's, and I'm destined to just go on to good things, mate. And I just believe it's going to happen, mate. It's just, I know, listen, it's been a bumpy road, ups and downs, but I've persevered through it, and I just believe because I'm meant to be, I'm meant to do it.
Yeah, I love it. Listen, every fighter's got their own story, the ups and downs, and it's led to where they are now. You're in a great
Yeah.
spot right now. Just out of interest, where do you keep your British title replica? Do you have one? Is it close by? Have you got cabinets and
No,
stuff?
to be fair, since I've had it, it's been in I remember my last belt before I fought Reece. Yeah, Reece turned up in a case and that, like with his belts. I had a knockoff Prada bag from Turkey. I had my 2 belts. I had my European belt and my WC International. Obviously, I never had any like belt holder or anything come with it. So Yeah, the knockoff Prada bag that I bought from Turkey a year before. They was going around with me ever in that. But yeah, once I got the other two belts, obviously off Reese for the British and Commonwealth, I thought, nah, I've got to upgrade my storage for them now. So all my belts they're sat in two like briefcases, just easy. And I just whenever I need them to go like to see people, see sponsors, or take them out to show people, they're manageable to carry around, and then two like luggage handle things,
Yeah, gotcha,
briefcases.
gotcha.
So yeah, but yeah, before they was in a Prada bag, knockoff Prada bag from Turkey. Now they're in a proper briefcase. So yeah.
I love it. Listen, mate, congratulations on all the belts you've picked up so far. Congratulations on that British title belt, and a congratulations in advance on the world title belt. That is inevitably coming your way, Ryan.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Like I say, hopefully this year's the year and it'll happen.
The unbeaten Ryan Garner there. You can tell that he's ready now. He's ready to fight for a world title. He wants that this year, and hopefully he gets his opportunity. But he is the British champion. He's added that to his belt collection, and it's been brilliant. Speaking to former British champions, we've seen the Lord Lonsdale belt. We've felt what it means to these fighters. We've heard the stories, and what a story it could be. February 28th. A new British welterweight champion will be crowned. The brilliant Worcester Warrior Owen Cooper takes on the dangerous Moldovan monster, the Puncher, based in Plymouth, Konstantin Ursu. It will be live around the world on the global home of Boxing DAZN from the Valent Live in Derby. The countdown is very much on. Do not miss it.